Millennial parents expect a lot out of their kids' schools. In part, this is due to the rise of two-income households, which has shifted some fundamental needs for both parents and kids today. Some 60% of millennial parents think that students are getting a good or very good education these days, but this is tied very closely to income level. For millennial families making over $75,000 a year, more than 8 in 10 say the education system is good or very good. Meanwhile, a majority of millennial parents with incomes under $50,000 a year think the education system is only fair or poor. Millennials are growing up in an era where the norm is working parents raising kids, and often two incomes are needed to make ends meet. So we wanted to learn how things have changed since parents themselves were in school.
How is being a parent today different than it was maybe 20, 30 years ago?
I think it's different, particularly for women. I hope nobody gets mad at me for that, but because we don't have as much time to spend. If you work full time, you don't have as much time to spend with your kids doing homework and things like that. It's kind of like you get home and you have to fix dinner, and before you know it, it's time to jump in the bathtub and get ready for the next day. So I think that's one big difference for women anyway.
Financially, I feel like it's different. I went to morning school and after school at school that my mom dropped me off at, and it was fairly inexpensive. Now you have to have your kids go to daycare and pay for the daycare, and then they ship them over, and then you can't leave them at school. Someone has to pick them up, and you have to pay for someone to pick them up. And you have to pay for sports. It's just a lot different in that way.
Millennial parents are also very focused on building up children who aren't just academically prepared, but are emotionally prepared. We wanted to know if they bought into the idea that millennial parenting is different than the way they were raised when they were growing up.
I think to being a millennial parent, that different from my mother and father is that I do allow my kids to have an opinion and let them tell me what's going on with them, rather than saying, this is how I say it should be done. We kind of talk about it. We have more discussions rather than, no, that's it, and it's my way or no way.
You know, I agree, because when I was growing up, it was kids are to be seen and not heard. And, if you're going through a problem, it was like you just had to internalize it. And I knew the damage that did for me, and I didn't want that to happen with my kids. So, having that open dialogue, what's going on with you? How are you feeling? I can clearly see something's not right, and it's okay to talk to me about it,
To learn more about our research, please visit www.echeloninsights.com.